If you like what I do, consider joining my channel or donating to my coffee. Links in the description. Yo, it's Luke, the Metroidvania guru. The Mask of Darkness DLC for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown just dropped, and I am very hyped for that. I covered Lost Crown at the beginning of the year. Here's a card if you want to check out my review, but TLDR, I loved it. It's an amazing Metroidvania, easily the best Metroidvania to come out of a AAA studio in a long time. Sorry, Dread. You're still an excellent game, though. When I first reviewed Lost Crown, I wasn't giving out scores, but I would have given it a 9 or 9.5 easy. It's really that good. However, I did place it on the definitive Metroidvania tier list, really high in the A tier. The only thing that stopped it from getting into the S tier was its narrative. Something to get me more deeply invested in the game's exploration and plot. Hidden endings, more narratively entrenched side quests, a better use of how time moves differently for each character. Lost Crown doesn't need all that to get into the S tier, just one of those done well would have moved it up. And that's why I'm so excited to revisit the game. Now that the latest DLC is out, I want to see if this new content is enough to push Lost Crown into that coveted S tier. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Metroidvania Revisited.
4 hours later.
Okay, that was awesome. I'm not one to discuss value on this channel, but for $5, you get 4+ hours of high quality Prince of Persia platforming? That's crazy good value. All right, let's talk about it in a non-spoilery fashion. To break it down, you get a completely new biome full of incredibly unique and challenging platforming sections that culminates in a pretty challenging boss fight. Challenging to me anyway. Took me like 6 or 7 tries to take this chick down. As you've probably gathered, the main draw to this DLC is its platforming. I don't want to give anything away, but man, do some of these sections test your platforming skills. Not on the level of, say, Celeste or Meat Boy, but definitely above your average MV platformer. And the creativity on display here is extraordinary, not just in the new mechanics, but in the level design. Some of these sections are so well thought out and fun to execute. Again, I don't want to give anything away, but trust me when I say, if you loved the platforming challenges Lost Crown's base game offered, then you're going to be thrilled with the challenges in its DLC. I seriously had a whole lot of fun with it. Combat's a whole other story. It's fine, but I didn't like how entering this new biome takes away all your stuff. That's right. Entering this realm takes away all your HP upgrades, amulets, and potions, as well as some of your abilities. The double jump was sorely missed, but you still get to keep your air dash and your teleport copy ability, and trust me, you're gonna need them. Alright, back to combat. Like I said, it's fine. I just hated building up my character so much and then losing everything. Of course, that's part of the challenge, and it, in fact, makes combat that much more challenging. But combat isn't the DLC's focus. This biome's all about platforming, though there are plenty of enemies to fight if you so choose. Hitting those parries still feels amazing. Now, let's talk about exploration, because the DLC did a great job here, even though this biome is very obviously sequestered from the rest of the game, which is kind of a bummer. Your journey through this self-contained biome is all about quote-unquote rebuilding yourself. Like I said, entering the biome takes away a bunch of your stuff and makes you weak. But exploring the biome thoroughly rewards you handsomely in many different ways. There's hidden lore to be found, potions to be regained, and life upgrades to be had. So exploring off the beaten path is highly recommended, both for narrative and functional reasons. And each optional reward is guided by a super fun platforming section. You definitely don't want to miss that. One thing that would have disappointed me during exploration was if there were nothing new to be gained from this new biome. It was a real concern because everything I was finding was just stuff I already had. Thankfully, there were a couple of brand new things to find, and that got me excited. And there's even a reward for completing the DLC. And there you go. The Mask of Darkness DLC is great, especially if you want more Prince of Persia platforming goodness. But was it great enough to lift Lost Crown into the S tier? I don't think so. Although I did have a lot of fun with it, and it was great to tighten up some narrative loose ends, the DLC and its revelations weren't enough to elevate the game's overall plot. And I know that's a non-issue for a lot of people, and that's perfectly fine, but if you're gonna hit the S tier, you gotta be excellent in every facet, including narrative. Lost Crown's narrative was just okay, and the DLC really just closes the loop on something the base game left hanging, instead of adding anything new or exciting to the overarching plot. But that's okay. High A is still pretty dang good. If you haven't played the latest pop, you gotta fix that, and now's the time. Pick it up, grab its latest DLC, and prepare for one of the best MV experiences money can buy. Thanks for checking out Metroidvania Revisited. I've got another MV I'm going to be revisiting real soon. I'll be dropping a teaser for that here in a moment. But if you think there's an MV I should revisit because it got some serious upgrades or DLC, let me know in the comments. Also, like, subscribe, become a member to my channel, join my Discord, follow me on X, eat your vegetables, drink some water, for God's sake, you gotta stay hydrated. See ya next time.